All right, and welcome to another episode of Hempire. I'm Pete Bahrenburg, here again, always with Nick DiFrancesco, CEO and owner of Purewell. How's it going there, buddy?
Good, Pete. I'm good, Pete. We're getting ready for the Cannabis in Sports Conference this weekend. So a couple of guys that we've been interviewing, as well as some new people, we'll be getting to mix it up with. So excited about that for sure. And I guess we got some special guests today that I know the listeners want to hear about. What do we got?
Absolutely. What's joining us today is we've got the founders of Respect My Region. We have Joey J. Ping Brabo and Mitch Pfeifer. How you guys doing?
Man, getting the day going.
Thanks for making the time.
So I guess you guys are going on the road till about December 10th, right? You're going to do about 250 episodes, going to city, region to region, talking about cannabis entrepreneurs, anyone that's in the industry. This is the second year you guys doing it. Tell me what got you into it and what you look for when you're trying to find these people.
Yeah, this is our second year doing the national run, following 3 years of just a West Coast weed tour. And the West Coast weed tour days, we were actually in a van for 3 weeks, driving up and down the West Coast on a full-on tour. Moving to this national one, I was telling you fellas a little bit off air, I'm not trying to be on the road for 4 months straight. So it's a little bit of it's a mixture of a digital content campaign mixed with some travel. So we're doing content the whole 5 months and intermittent travel, just kind of flying, driving in and out to different places all over the country, basing some of that on just visiting dispensaries and cultivation facilities, and some of that kind of on the trade shows and events that pop up around the map, so we can kind of double team, go somewhere for an event, do a bunch of networking, go shop at dispensaries, go visit facilities. We're pretty efficient when we're on the road traveling, man. What we can get done in a 48-hour, 50-hour span is usually pretty impressive by most standards. So we just really need a little bit of time in a market, and we can connect with a lot of people. And this campaign was really built selfishly for us to how can we growth hack building out relationships and content at scale over a short amount of time with like hyper focused intention and purpose. And then as far as like what other people can expect from it is really just looking at what legal cannabis
are they
like
contacting
the
you? Are you reaching out to these people? I mean, how are you finding the people that you're going to check out?
Research, straight up research. We do a lot of research. We do Google, we do Weed Maps, we do Leafly. We call dispensaries. We find people on LinkedIn. We literally, I go on LinkedIn, and LinkedIn will just show me like, oh damn, like this person just got hired as the GM at Massachusetts Cannabis Co. And all of a sudden, I just screenshot it, send it to Mitch, and we just hit him up, and we're like, yo, congratulations on the new job. What can we do to support you win? Like, because your industry is just getting going, right? A lot of these places are just getting going. So what's good or great is super subjective. So this whole campaign is about identifying just quality first, right? And then determining how good or how great they are after that. People are just looking for good weed. They're just looking for a good deal. They're looking for consistent things. So we just do some basic market research. We just search in the cities. We search on Instagram. We search on LinkedIn. And then we just shoot our shot. And we literally shoot our shot until they tell us no.
It's like,
we don't stop.
It's digital guerrilla street teaming.
Yeah, that's basically what it is. So what, now you're talking about, go ahead.
I mean, 1,000%. We call it the swarm method, but it was literally taken from the guerrilla marketing days when we were physically popping up selling shirts. Like if you had 20 homies and they were all good looking and they all were talking to somebody walking by, bro, you're getting sales, you're getting opportunities. And so
it's not someone that you're looking for just like to make the cut. You're finding out to see when you go and do a review at that place or the facility or whatever to see if they make the cut, right? I mean, you're basically reviewing a lot of the stuff, or is that what I'm trying to understand?
Both. At this point, unless you're a new state that just went online, like literally, like say, like a lot of states, they always launch it off in January, February, March, right? They kick it off or whatever whenever they're like it's approved, and then a couple years later it comes online, right? So like what we do is we start planting the seed early, just about those areas. Right. Who got licenses? Cookies just got a new spot there, right? They're always first in the market. So what we do is we just find out what's good out there. We talk to humans like you guys and just say, hey, what are your thoughts on this area? What have you heard about this? And usually If there's someone that's respected or been around already for a bit, then we go two routes. We offer them a partnership to participate for free, so that way we can just showcase the culture. It's our job, it's our duty, it's our role in the space to showcase the culture and to amplify it. That's our role in this industry. So depending on the type of person we're talking to, the type of business, we play it two ways. Are you gonna fuck with us for free and do it one time for the culture? Or do you guys have a big enough budget already because you're killing it to where you can physically support the culture? And we're not afraid of asking for money, and we're not afraid of doing shit for free. And either way, our role has to be fulfilled. Some way or another, these podcasts have to happen. And the interviews, they have to happen. The articles, they got to happen. And so that's our duty here.
No, of course. I'm just saying quality wise, like it would be awesome if you talk about and you talk to me. No, for example, we're not even in the, we're not marijuana per se. We're in cannabis. We're on the hemp side. So we do custom formulations for specific disease states on the medical level. Okay. That's what we're known for. Launched 2 publicly traded companies, but I've been in hemp for 10 years because of the fact of, not just because of the regulations and everything. I just felt like the medical benefits outweighed some of the cannabis. I didn't want to have to worry about being Scarface, bringing cash in. Everything was bankable, but we connect to doctors, healthcare professionals, athletes, people that are really using relief and products. What we make our name on is quality, right? And what we do different than anybody else. And that's why I'm asking, everybody's got a company, it's just, how are you weeding this out? Like, obviously Cookies, biggest name in the
I see what you did there.
So it's just, what are you doing to figure that out, and what makes them different?
I mean, for us, again, quality is so subjective, and they're the most popular items. Like, if you look on the data at Headset and the BDS Analytics, the top selling products are not the best. They're never the best. The top selling products are the most affordable with the highest THC. It happens every time in every state. So what we've done is we do a general outreach to about 500 to 1,000 dispensaries across the country. We do look for the best based on Google reviews, Leafly reviews, Weed Maps reviews. They have the star system, right? So we try to find people that are at least a 4.25 or higher, right? That's generally what we're looking for, is an 8 out of 10 or higher in terms of an out of 10 ranking, right? Usually the Google stuff's out of 5 or Weed Maps out of 5 or whatever. So we start there, and then from there, because all the products and the brands and what's popular, what's the best is all different. You got to think, like, there is a best product of mids. There is a best product of lows, right? There is a quality. There's quality in all these different categories and niches. And Mitch and I ran into this problem before. We were like, man, we had friends that were like, man, why are you guys reviewing mids? Like, why are you guys featuring this? We're like, bro, people, like 1 million people bought that product like last year. Like, we have to talk about it. It's one of the best at what it is. And a direct response to you to answer the question is, we do referrals first. We give the culture a chance to speak and share who they think is the best. When we're leading up to the tour, before it launches, we do a massive outreach just to identify and make a list. What dispensaries we have to have participate, right? What brands are subjectively the best in terms of connoisseur quality, mids, etc. It's really easy just to look at dispensaries and be like, oh, damn, everyone carries this brand. Like, we got to chat with them, right? And in Cali, that's your Pacific Stones, your Almoras and things.
I think, yeah, and like there's 2 things that we look for that I always tell, and it's like Joey's right. We do a lot of online research, and then there's a lot of outreach. We come from the music space, and it's always been localized content. So I don't know if we're good at, or we've just always been doing, looking at other areas or regions, if you will, to tie it into our brand name, and trying to identify through boots on the ground what is like hot locally. And when I always call people, whether we're cold calling a dispensary to ask them for brand recommendations, or we're talking to somebody that's like vetted and trusted, that's really from the culture or really ahead, that should be respect, everything they say should be held in high regard, right? Because there's those individuals as well. We always ask for 2 different things. Like, when we're looking for the best, I put that into, like Joey's saying, 2 different categories. There is like the top 5 that the heads or the culture would agree on. And whether we're talking about hoops, skateboarding, top 5 rappers of all time, we're never going to have a top 5 we all generally agree on. That top 5 might be 12 that we all loosely would be like, yeah, I'll respect you if you put one of those interchangeable in your top 5. So we try to identify that subjective top 5, which is really 8 to 12. And then we ask, what's the most popular? Because like Joey said, those are 2 different subsets. Sometimes they cross over. Sometimes the best is one of the most popular. That's kind of a rare anomaly. But for us, it behooves us to touch on things that the culture and the heads generally agree on, because then we're curating accurate, authentic content that is talking about what's good. And then what's popular has benefit, because if it's the most popular, it's probably the most requested. It's probably the most recognizable, and it probably commands the most search queries. So it behooves us to talk about that.
Of course, quality is subjective.
So
and we talked to somebody a show ago that talked about having the first purple strain in a location, like moving it from Cali to Oklahoma. And yeah, they have an amazing strain, but it was actually the color that people were going crazy for what made it the best. So it had nothing to do. Now, they said it smoked smooth and it did all this other stuff, but the truth is it was about the color. And it wasn't for them about quality in that situation. But everybody's always like, well, what's the strength of this THC? But look, what are you looking at it for? And I think that's why it's subjective, right? I mean, they're looking for terpene profiles. They're looking for, it's not just, oh man, this fucked me up. That they're looking for different things. I mean, that's kind of like I said, what we do. We do custom formulations for something specifically that they're looking for. So it's not, now again, this is not stuff, most of the stuff is not have psychotropic effects, and we do have both, right? But they're looking for something specific, a specific feeling. And some person might want to be up and clear, and another one wants to be crouch locked, right? So that's why I was asking. When it comes to me, I mean, we have farms, of course. It's the quality of how they're growing, how they're doing it, how they're putting products out. I don't know. There's just more to it. Everybody and their mom has a farm now, or has a cannabis brand, or trying to launch something. And that's what we do on the show. We're basically bringing people together to understand the ins and outs of the industry, what it's really going on, what's not going on. And so I'm not grilling you. I'm giving you guys I'm trying to understand how they can use you as a service to be like, they are the leading experts, or they're giving reviews, not just of doing research, anecdotal research, how they're getting there. So they're like, this is a trusted source. So I'm trying to boost you guys up, and that's what I'm trying to do.
It's not like you're just pushing a product, because someone gave you some money. It's not just product pushing. You're actually, doing some work and research on everything to figure out, what is actually quality for whatever specific region you're actually in.
Yeah, and that's exactly it, right? I'm not from any one place. Man, I grew up in Indiana, Texas, Seattle. I've been in Cali 3 years. I've been a chameleon my whole life. And why I joined Respect My Region is it allowed me to be my true version of myself. Right? Our platform is built on authenticity, is built on realness, it's built on being not just fake cool or making people happy. Like Mitch and I regularly have done things that are against the grain in our industry for a decade. Not just cannabis. We're talking rapper lists, Mitch getting threats. We don't care. We're not afraid. We have a process. It's a system. It's built on 2 different other people's systems that help them make millions of dollars at what they do. Our stuff is all data driven. We do 10 categories, 10 points per category. There's 2 different sections of our reviews, a taste test portion, and then like the overall, which is the accumulation of 10 categories, 10 points. We do get handed a lot of product, and we do get paid to do reviews. It's not every time, and it's not all the time. We write about artists that don't pay us, and we write about weed and review weed that don't pay us. I have a ton of weed sitting here right now underneath this desk that I personally dropped $600 to $700 for. Not one of those people is going to get 100% niceness on every one of those videos. Matter of fact, I was doing 3 reviews last night with one of my podcast hosts, and he straight up failed one of them, and they personally walked me around their house. I met their daughters. I met the wife. Took a safari through their grow in the back of a pickup. We don't care how nice you treat us or whatever it is. This is 100% for the customers. I'm a medical patient. I've had kidney stones over 15 times. I have IBS every day. Stress and anxiety physically makes my stomach upset, and weed is the only thing that allows.
This is what I want.
What we believe is.
This is what I want. This is what we do. We're trying to not only legitimize the fact that We're trying to get the best strains. Remember, now, do you do a lot of reviews for CBD and hemp, or is it just marijuana, cannabis, that type of thing? I mean, because
And you guys know as well as I do that the hemp and the hemp farmers out there, the stuff that tastes good, it's just not readily accessible like that. They're not growing that in downtown LA. They're not growing great craft hemp anywhere except for Southern Oregon and regions like that. To be honest, Western, Kentucky, Virginia. I was going to say Colorado. You've got Maine,
of course,
regions, microclimates, right? That's where it's able to be grown because indoor hemp is a $60 eighth, and no one's buying $60 hemp eighths.
No matter how hard they try to sell them.
So, like where we no matter how hard you try to sell boutique hemp, no one's going to walk in there and
no, but
buy,
you're talking about smokables.
That's not
now,
that they buy.
We don't do anything with flower that you smoke. Okay. We have a pen, okay, that we use, that we've processed down with distillate. Yeah. But what we do is we take cannabis, okay, well, we take hemp, we break it down, obviously do distillation process, we extract it, but then we add different molecules to it for specific disease states. So it's not just about the taste. It's more about the purity. Again, USDA certified organic, kosher, vegan, non-GMO, pesticide free. Our COAs are 9 pages. That's the starting point of what we do. So I would love for you guys to come and check out the farm. That's fine. Or just come and check us out in Florida, or try the product and understand what we do is completely different than what anybody else is doing. It's not flower to flower. I don't sell flower. So we sell finished goods that we do custom formulations to. And that's why I completely understand. I mean, we're going to compare hemp to marijuana. Yeah. People are going to want to smoke weed. I mean, they're not going to want to smoke hemp. That's fine. But if
there's levels to it, right? The psychology of that consumer is people are cannabis friendly. They didn't start off hemp friendly. So they technically work
in
backwards,
society,
work sideways,
but not in real life, because we know that hemp has been around since 4000 BC when they were making textiles. They just started smoking it one day and go, "Oh, this is pretty cool."
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I have a couple products here. This is a straight up CBD. It's a pouch that's a liquid pouch. This is super cool. Pour, drink, and sip it down like it's a Gatorade. The little hydration packs, and these are CBD
honey sticks or something. Honey sticks,
stir sticks or something, or something along those lines. And so,
a stir stick. Okay.
No, it's literally a stir stick. So you peel it off and then whip it around or whatever. It's not a straw. I apologize. My homie's probably cringing if he ever sees this. 80% of our product is flower, and I'd say that's reflective of the market as well. When 70 to 80% of the market, and like you said, society is physically buying flower, 80% of our products that we review are going to be flower. Now, I do have, Mitch is reviewing a lot of weed in Washington and Oregon. When he's in Cali, he does Cali. But generally speaking, I use edibles every day. I do use tinctures. I have capsules right here. And these are all products and vapes all the time. So I'm personally using 5 to 7 different categories of products all the time. And members of our team are also similarly doing the same thing. The guys, the girls, we have a couple of our more trusted people. They've been using cannabis for longer than me and a variety of products. And I think Mitch can speak on, again, the varying perspectives combined with our 10 categories that we use. And then doing it in multiple states. Again, the goal of this is really, we just want to give people trusted perspectives and a variety of them across the continent. It was the West Coast first and across the continent.
And it's about reviewing the product from the perspective of who it's for, right? Like Joey touched on that, as connoisseur level smokers or whatever, right? There's a certain quality of flower that if I'm putting my money out there, I mean, to be honest, not even my money, like even if you give me it, I literally won't smoke it, right? If it doesn't meet my standards or isn't a flavor profile that I enjoy. When it comes to like vape pens, that's a popular one because a lot of people, we review a lot of vapes. They're super popular. Distillate is one of the highest sellers, right? When it comes to the THC vapes, Joey and I, same thing. We're never going to put our money out and buy a distillate pen, but it's such a popular category. If I can't not review it, and I can't review it and immediately be like, oh, this is shit. Anyone that's smoking this should be smoking live resin. Like, sure, I believe that, but clearly the market data is showing that so many people are not doing it. I have to review this we have to review this from the perspective of, okay, if this is the product I purchase and these are my expectations for said product, I can't compare that product to the top scale limited batch craft live rosin pen versus your hot dog water distillate pen. You can't compare those to one another. You have to look at it for what this product is, for who it is, and review it from that perspective. You might get some antidotes in there where it's like, all right, well, I prefer live resin because I get more flavor and this doesn't quite have that. But if I was this type of person, so it's very much looking at things like that. And then same thing, similarly, like there's certain terpene profiles I know I just won't enjoy. So there's no way I could authentically review it. I'll have to pass it off to someone on the team. It could be the award-winning best fucking version of a Jack Herrera strain, and I fucking hate Jack. Like, it does not matter how good it is. I'm going to fucking hate it.
You got to stay unbiased.
I dislike that flavor profile. So we want to be, we want to be authentic and unbiased, but we also want to make
best
sure
in class for cars,
set
right?
up
So
for who it
you
is,
can't
right?
compare
And
a Honda to a Rolls Royce. I mean, of course, right? So,
but there are still people who are shopping for that Honda, so you got to get them some information as well.
And I think that's the case. And it could be THC content levels. Somebody doesn't want to go to a live resin or something. It's just too strong for them. It's just not what they're looking for. So of course there's going to be something for everything. And that going said, I mean, obviously you're going to events, you're going to festivals and things like that. Is there any names? I mean, not the name dropping, but there's got to be some people that you're meeting. You're like, oh, that was cool that I met him, or I learned something, or something crazy happened. Give me some dirt, man. Come on, give me something.
Oh man,
toil in the soil.
Yeah. Mitch, my life been crazy the last 3 weeks. I'll let you go first, Mitch.
Yeah, I mean, we're meeting a lot of people, right? Like through our podcast and through just our general people outreach to us. PR companies outreaching to us, or us doing the cold outreach. We've been able to meet, the founders of a lot of the companies, right? Like a lot of the biggest companies in cannabis. We've been able to meet them. We just did an interview with Burner a couple weeks ago and put that out. It did really well. We just did some work for Exhibit. He has a cannabis brand. We're in talks with a couple other people from the hip hop community that have brands. And I always laugh, after doing 10 years of music blogging and music marketing. Obviously been in cannabis quite a while as well, but cannabis has connected us to more higher tier, higher profile rappers than being in fucking rap is. And that just is so funny to me and blows my mind. But these guys need help selling their shit. I guess they didn't need help selling records, but they need
Circle
help
keeps getting bigger.
Cannabis brings everyone together on all different levels. You'd be surprised who we have on the show from all different types of levels. And everybody has one common ground. There's no socioeconomic, there's no demographics, there's nothing. There's no division. It's the love of the plant, and business of the plant, or whatever you're, associated with the plant. But it's just kind of funny. I mean, we have conversations with, crazy conversations going different levels of different people. And you go from someone that goes, I looked at cannabis when I was young as this is a bad thing and people would judge me. And now it's changed their life and helped them through cancer. So, and then we got, rappers on that are like, I was in the ghetto smoking. I had cops coming after me, because we were smoking a little weed, and now it's legalized in every state. So it's kind of crazy. People are always pushing the boundaries, and this is kind of funny. I was looking at people doing podcasts in crazy places, right? So they shut down the 6th Avenue Bridge in Los Angeles, Dominican Republic, and just some places that rooftops and what's the craziest place you've done a podcast, or are you looking to do something just somewhere nuts?
We did one at like I won't call it a house, but a real nice, I won't call it a mansion, but a real nice crib in Bel Air. We did a podcast in the middle of a consumption cannabis event we threw. And so that was pretty dope, to be out there with the Fresh Prince, used to lay his head, and out there. And then we've done
one that tops that one, bro. The one that tops that one is the 39th floor, though.
All right, tell us a little about it, Joe.
Yeah. I forgot. Yeah. Good. Thank you for bringing. Yeah. So.
Because at the end of the day, bro, you're right. That house wasn't a mention in Bel Air. Like, shout out to Judd, but it's just not. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, bro, we threw a West Coast weed tour event. I think it was year 1, maybe year 2. 39th floor of a building in Seattle. Has the highest in Seattle. It has the largest outdoor like rooftop area, like a loungy space. It's probably like, man, it's probably like.
Is it near the Needle?
75
Is it near the
yards
Needle?
long. It's a big outdoor patio space.
Oh, okay.
No, it's on the other side, so
Yeah,
you can see the
closer.
stadiums and the waterfront and the Ferris wheel.
It's the Columbia.
Okay.
That's all what it is. It's literally by the Columbia Tower building down there, right? And
Yeah,
and like it's on the same. It's in the same building as the federal government. It's in the same building as the Seattle DEA. It's in the same building as major banks. It's in the same building as like Morgan Stanley and shit. Like, man, we're up there at 39th floor. We got a podcast going in the middle of the party. It looks like the Breakfast Club in this bitch. You know what I'm saying? Like all the mics and shit, bunch of rappers in there, a bunch of weed, like a bunch of girls. But it was lit, man. All the homies was there. Mitch and the other hosts were all doing their thing. There was just weed rolling up everywhere. Like it was crazy. And then the party's just raging around it. That's this room in the center. So like the party was around it and then outside. So it was lit. And then outside we set up like maybe 7 or 8 tents and created a little tunnel and then we lit it with like Christmas lights. So it was like a little tunnel and you had brands and booths. Just
it sounds like we should have been there, right, Pete?
It was dope, man. It was
and
Sounds like he's just sitting there passing. Like Mr. Johnson, Agent Johnson.
That's what I was going to ask him. I was going
to take a pass.
Yeah, go ahead. I'm sorry, Mitch. What were you going to say?
Man, our whole thing, man, is like we create experiences, bro. Like I've been to so many music festivals. I was at the #1 rated festival in the world last weekend for 4 days. The whole time we have media press access, which is the same as artist access, and we get to go to EDC. We get to go. We haven't gotten, like Mitch said, in cannabis has opened the door for rap stuff and music stuff faster than regular world music stuff. EDM has always been open to us coming in and supporting. They want more support. So we get that access. We were hanging out with one of the biggest artists in the world the whole weekend from Australia, and are up there on stage while he's crowing crazy in front of 20,000 people. You know what I'm saying? Like that shit is dope. You feel me? To be rolling up the best weed in Canada backstage and shit like that. In Vegas, we were at G4 Live. The homie who's one of the co-owners of Planet 13 walks me up and introduces me to motherfucking Mike Tyson. Never in my life, in my regular path, in my dad's work path of Boeing and bullshit, would I ever have met Mike Tyson.
We just had Double M on, so we were just, it was funny because we were talking about it. So what is the best way to get to these high profile people? I mean, obviously you got to go around management, you got to go publicists and things. So what was the best way you guys have used to get around to get to these guys?
Yep. We figure out so here's it. First off, you don't do content with the hopes of meeting those people. You do content with the hopes of working your way up to be around those people. And that's when your homies do. That's when, after you've done content about, that's when you've supported the community of people that are around all these people that are in these communities, in these cannabis or music or EDM or rap or whatever it is. When you support the people that make Atlantic Records, that make that artist pop, or that make this brand pop out wherever, then yeah, bro, all of a sudden the person that works underneath you, the CEO, is like, yo, you got to work with my homies. They just put me on, and like, look at all this other dope shit. Like, these are all the most popping people across the country. Like, you got to meet them. Like, whenever you launch a brand, Mike, this is my boy. You gotta let them know. And that was the intro. Yo, bro, next time you launch a product, hit my boy Joey up, man. He knows. I love it. He covers all the best products in the country. Simple as that. Oh yeah, what's up, Joey? Like, to Mike Tyson, whether he remembers me or not, the guy he's standing next to just saw that interaction,
right? And
that's his marketing director, right? So that's how that works. Is do content to get access, and then go network, and then hopefully after you've done that for 3, 5, 10 years, you're getting introduced to celebrities at the highest level, like we are. And like Mitch touched on a couple of his favorites. We've been blessed to work with Super Bowl winning quarterback.
We had Kyle Turley on the show.
Kyle Turley,
he's awesome.
We've been able to work with. Yep. We just ran a press release for Sean Kiernan at Weed for Warriors. We work with Cannabis Talk 101, Secret Sesh. There's a lot of great brands out here in California that have a lot of respect, and we are actively trying to work and align ourselves with people that represent both the culture and they also have a name associated with it. We've worked with a lot of people that are smaller for a long time. And now we're proud to finally have our friends straight up being like, Joey, you got to meet this dude. Mike Tyson, you got to meet my friend. Like telling someone like that,
I mean, come on, we were all young.
Nobody? Come on.
I was not really a nobody. You built yourself into something, so definitely not nobody, man. That's for sure.
Man, bro, we come from Ellensburg, Washington, college startup. We failed at close. Mitch, look at my business partner there with his goofy ass. Like we don't like. There's so many different rooms that we don't fit into, and we're nobody still, and that's why we work so hard. It's a joke, but Mitch and I shit talk all the time. So this is, it ain't nothing new.
Yeah, what I was going to talk about is
awesome, man.
Mike. You got to be honest with you. I love what he was doing. He just put out a half bit out ear. I mean, come on. That was one of the best things. I mean, obviously we remember Mike Tyson's Punch Out. So to meet Mike Tyson in real life, when you talk to him and now what he's doing in cannabis is huge. But when I saw him do the half bit ear, I lost it. I go, that's out of control. That's great marketing right there. I thought that was
smart marketing.
So what are you guys? All right. So now where are you on the tour? I mean, where are you going next? What's going on? I mean, obviously you're going to December 10th, so you got a lot more time. You have a little downtime, a couple weeks now. You were telling me. So what's next?
No downtime. There are so many events.
I meant to say from traveling.
We are going to at least 3.
Yeah. From traveling, Joey's in the LA market, so stuff's always happening. So he'll be staying, somewhat local and then around California. I'm in Seattle, and so when I say not traveling, I'm in Seattle. He's in LA, so I'm still bopping around Washington, hitting Portland every now and then. He's still hitting California, but in terms of getting on the road, coming up here in September, I know we're gonna be. I think we have this stretch where we're both flying out to Boston in September 20th. We'll be out there for a week, kind of driving all over the state, hitting Maine. Then I'm flying with Joey back to LA. We'll be there for a couple days. Then we're in Vegas for a couple days. Then we're back in LA for a few days.
You guys coming down to South Florida?
Santa Rosa for Hall of Flowers for a few days. And then I don't know. The only issue is like our model kind of depends on like rec, us being able to go into stores and just buy stuff and is really like how Joey said, like content. We really lead with content. That's we get ROI on that down the road, or use the content to build relationships. So any state that's kind of has that medical block isn't as friendly or is accessible to our model. So we have some people in Florida and we'll be covering some stuff out there. But as far as me and Joey, I don't, there's some other markets that are.
You don't want just medical. You want full rec.
Well, the give and take. We have partners in various states across the country. We have partners and staff, right? So we have a human in Georgia. We have a human that's in South Georgia. We have a human in North Florida. They already go to shops. They already review weed here and there. We have a person in New York. We got a couple people in Illinois. Got influencers across the country that we're working with here and there to support. There's various ways that we're, partnering and navigating these puzzle pieces to try to just get the content to happen. Again, our goal of this is just to figure out how to showcase as much of the culture across the country as possible. And even with you guys, if this conversation leads to you guys helping us review weed down there in Florida, so be it. We don't necessarily, it's not about not caring who's a part of it, but you got to remember, every perspective matters. So if this is just one perspective or two humans' perspective into what Florida looks like, that's huge. Because then next year I'll get 5, and then after that it'll be 10, and then it'll just snowball into people submitting us content, which is the goal. Our goal is to create enough power and snowball effect that we have user submitted content the same way Leafly gets reviews. So that way we ultimately have a never ending engine of user-generated content plus our curation. We feel that that's the most authentic for what we're trying to achieve.
Have you noticed the big jump before the year 1 and year 2? I mean, huge, right?
Huge.
Okay.
We're in year 5. We're in year 5 on this campaign, and every year we've done things differently. COVID hit. We went from doing events and parties and reviewing weed and physically driving to a lot of places to doing 80 podcasts with guests across the country and just breaking our model and just saying like, hey, we're going to sell our car and we're going to rebuild and buy a different one and try that one out. And the podcast method really worked for us. And then we did lose, we did spend a lot of money that I'd say year one of COVID and year two of COVID, just specifically on product. And as we were spending a lot, it was me mainly spending a ton of money on it. I had a job that was making enough money where I could do that and afford to invest in the content as a relationship and, and smoke good weed for it. And what we realized very quickly is that, again, if I just went and bought the most fanciest brands or the most expensive people and we swarmed them guerrilla marketing style on social and on LinkedIn, and we emailed and blew them up, in 7 different places, they were all responding. We had gotten big enough in the 2 years of doing the idea that everybody started responding. We added Beard Bros and a bunch of media partners, and no one really says no to the free content anymore. They may not respond because they don't see the email.
We got to figure out, we'll definitely work together. Obviously, we're on the hemp side. You can review our products, check us out. We always love working with everybody that's on the show. So we'll definitely figure out how we can work together. And, I think you guys will bring it. Maybe hemp and all that's not your thing. Maybe we can make you a believer too. So maybe you just have some problems, or you.
We sold hemp flower pre-rolls. We sell hemp CBD products. We just ended the relationship with the manufacturer. They were out of Wisconsin, and so it's not that we don't believe in it. It's just that the amount of people participating in that is very low. In year 1 through 3 on the West Coast Weed Tour, we reached out to a ton of CBD companies. There just wasn't interest in participating.
Well, it's changed. It's consolidated now. It's consolidated now. Before
even
there
just
was everybody and their mom had CBD and they thought it was a fad and all that. Where it's now after COVID, it's definitely consolidated. Again, our market is more for people that actually have medical conditions, right? So they use our products because they really can't sleep, or they genuinely have pain or inflammation, or depression, or, stress, and these types of things. So everything that you actually mentioned that we have a medical problem, I have a product for that. Now, yes, it might not get you high, okay, but it'll treat it a lot better than just cannabis alone. Or for people that just don't want to get high, or they got to work all day long, or whatever it is, and they still got to deal with these problems, that's who we target. So it really is a different market than what you're normally doing. But you should have a little bit of everything. Yeah. So that's why I said, I think us working together, these people will still be looking for this type of product as well.
We review everything as it comes. I know Colin just did, or maybe not Colin, but I know we just did some hemp topicals, some CBD topicals. We definitely I get handed a ton of, I spoke at the USA CBD Expo in Chicago about marketing and things like that on TikTok and Instagram. And I met a ton of CBD, Delta 8, HHC, THCO, THCP, all these different cannabinoid products that are out there, and we review them all. It's not we don't not put effort into that. It's just a matter of when this campaign is called the North American Weed Tour, the hemp and CBD companies are always feeling like, oh, why am I so overshadowed?
Right.
But it's when you look at the Emerald Cup or other cups, there's always a section for CBD products. And so we do want people to know there's a space for you guys. We're here. We're ready. I'm familiar with great CBD products. I have tried a lot of them. I know things that taste good. I know what it should and shouldn't taste like from strain to strain, and the hemp varietals as well. I'm familiar with CBD isolates and hemp isolates on all the different cannabinoids. We've done research and published articles on all of it. So I'd love to try your products. I personally am a cannabis patient and a CBD patient.
I know, that's
because
crazy.
I have IBS and Crohn's.
15 times. I mean, that's
15 times ruined my insides.
That sounds very painful.
Energy drinks, boys.
That's Yankee level, coming for Yankee level championship.
Stay away from the energy drinks, guys. Monster and Rockstar combined with smoking really does damage to your body just due to the natural levels of dehydration you experience. Smoking is not good. Let's clarify something. Smoking is not good for anybody. It's straight up. No matter what anybody says, smoking weed is not good. It tightens your blood vessels. It restricts blood flow and circulation. It doesn't allow your body to heal faster. It might make you feel better in the short term, but it is not the end-all, be-all, the physical act of smoking. There are better products in the world of cannabis / THC that are better and more effective than smoking. You can get the strain you like in a full spectrum oil. You can get the strain you like in an edible, and it can be sugar-free. So and it can be a beverage without any sugar either, or any food coloring additives, depending on how much of a freak you really are when it comes to all those little details. See, I get that those nuances.
I was just there. You know what I thought Seattle was? It was crazy because I was just there.
San Francisco.
The Jetsons. It's some of the stuff that when I go over there, in the middle of Seattle and people are walking out, oh no, you don't need to pay for it. We know what you put in your bag. I'm like, wait, what? Oh yeah, don't park your car. It goes on a little machine and it goes down 17, floors down and it parks for you. Or I just was like New World Order. Everybody, I was just like, especially coming from, travel all the time. But I love Seattle. I thought the people were nice. It was a city, but it also felt live there's trees all over rooftops and everyone's very health focused. Of course, you have all the major hubs over there. So Seattle was very health conscious. Of course, there's a lot of people and our target markets are the people that are looking for, alternatives, but they really have medical issues. And so it would be cool that you guys remove the products because I think you'd love them.
Yeah, absolutely. If you guys, let's definitely connect offline and figure out how to get me a box of something so that way we can run through it. The products that I don't personally, like again, what Mitch said earlier, the products that I don't personally find the need to use, that I wouldn't be the ideal person for.
Yeah, no.
The CBD infused rose waters and
what is that?
Rose balm.
That's ridiculous. I know. Trust me.
Who gets that? Mama. No. But I give it to the girl that I'm dating, and I talk with her, and I get feedback, and then I also send everything to my mom. Mama Ping gets to try all these products and FaceTime with me once or twice, 3 times a week whenever we send her.
See,
stuff.
we like that.
She gives me
mamas love us. But Mitch, now is this? Plausible? He gave it to his girlfriend for a rose bath. Are we sure Joey didn't just jump in there, little rose bath action? Really, are we to believe this?
Yeah, I haven't really met many females that enjoy the company of Joey, so I think it's all cat, man. I think it's all cat.
So now we know it's Tuesday nights. What's going on over at the Brabos?
Let me tell you a little story about Mitch. Let me tell you a little story about how many times in a row I went to Mitch's house in college and he was getting out of the house.
Oh, jeez.
It was like at least 7 straight visits in a row. I'm just here to buy a visit, just buy a fucking gram or buy an ounce. Mitch was like,
this is only the stuff you get at Hempire. See this? The inside story.
The real question, though, is he tightening that towel or loosening the towel? Because there's a big difference between the two.
Ironclad.
He said, did you bring the rose water with CBD?
Oh, Jesus.
And you said, of course.
I needed some help. I needed some help putting the topical on my lower back. I couldn't reach back there, immobile. It's purely medical. Purely medical.
He's got the fingers that can reach.
Yeah, we get it. Who was our favorite football player that just had those special massage that he was saying that he needed the special spots hit? Watson. If you listen to some of that stuff, it's just like, oh my God,
Watson.
This man should be put away forever. No,
like I said, Mitch is more the diva, man. Mitch has had an old man. They called him old. He got his Instagram account, Old Head Mitch. His Twitter account, Old Head Mitch. He's the old one on the squad. His back's been hurting since he first started hooping and falling off skateboards. So this guy is definitely. He's getting massages, hitting chiropractors. He got his little one running around.
Mitch, we could. I'm telling you, I think you're gonna be shocked. We put it on it. Again, athletes are coming by here all the time, and we do stuff, and we give things to people that look, they're set up with opiates, they're set up with prescription drugs, and they don't even know about cannabis. And I said, look, I really do have something that's going to work. And of course, they still smoke or whatever. They put a lot of our stuff on, and they go, wow, it really is not what I expected. It's not like stuff we've had before, and that's what we do. So we'll definitely hook you guys up. We'll get you some swag. We'll get you some good stuff. Go ahead, Pete. Tell us. Wrap it up. Yeah, go ahead, Pete.
No, I have one other quick question for Mitch there. I need to know, Joey was saying you got threats by what you did with the rapper list.
Yeah, good
I need
question.
to know what got you these threats. What did you do on this list?
Man, anytime you put out, like we were saying, best is subjective, right? Like anytime we list anything is an argument, right? I could come on here and whether I said MJ's the GOAT, LeBron's the GOAT, Kobe's the GOAT, one of you three guys is going to probably violently disagree with my stance, right? We'll never all agree on what's the best. And so for a long time, like locally, we did a lot of like best hip hop lists, year-end lists, rap. And it's funny, even when you didn't do best, I started straying away from best and do like rappers you need to hear, like something super vague where it's like, this isn't everyone you need to hear, but here's just 8 of the many you need to hear because you're not included, but anytime you do a list, people get, I always would laugh, people be like, nah, man, my cousin or my brother, like he's never even put a track out, but he's the best. It's like, how would I even know he's the best if he's just rapping in his basement and has never put anything out? So it just, anytime we put it out, it turned to so much, and obviously being a white dude in hip hop, and I'll take it with it, right? I'll get knocked for, this white boy, okay, cool, you got me on that. This is not my culture. So
listen,
I'll
Eminem,
never be able to sit here and win that argument.
I'm sorry.
But, no, he is, but it is black culture at the end of the day, right? So any sort of feedback or criticism on that, I'll take it. I understand it. But people would just do all sorts of, these guys don't know what the fuck they're talking about, this and that. And I started doing it because I thought everybody else didn't know what the fuck they were talking about. And I thought
I love this build up.
I think I got a pretty good taste. But it definitely got to where people would start messaging. Certain people that would know me would text, would call. I mean, there was definitely some friction a couple times where someone was just simply not included on a list. And, there was some threats of violence that came my way. More than a couple times, and being called a culture vulture, this and that. And, it was all good. Like anyone that really, like, if someone credible, like who I was like, all right, you are a talent, or I understand why you believe that you're one of the best, I'll go pull up on you one-on-one and engage you. Like no one ever, thankfully, I've been punched in the face for other things, but, none of these people ever punched me in the face because I think I didn't just hide behind a keyboard and I didn't talk shit. It was like, here's my thoughts, here's my opinions. And if you feel why, I'll engage with you. Like, I'm not saying you're bad, but I think this person is here and there. This is where you're at. Like, and I think I was always willing to help people. So I think, there was definitely some criticism. Like there's a lot of people on Twitter or stuff that would talk crazy who was like, I don't even know who the fuck you are. Nobody would put you in that. So I'm not even going to entertain that. But if someone is, NW. Yeah, I mean but if someone is I get it, right? I come from that. If you're a musician, like you got to fight so hard to get noticed and get fans and pour so much of your heart and soul and money into something. And you should think you're the best, if you're really doing something, right? Whether you're a sports player or a musician, you should think you're the best. So I understand and empathize with that. And I think I would engage with anyone. Definitely a couple different times I'd pull up to a location and it'd be a little funky. You walk in the room and the atmosphere changes a little bit because there's someone there that doesn't like. I was like, I have no issues with nobody, but someone really has issues with you. And thankfully, nothing crazy really ever happened. I've been called all sorts of crazy names, definitely threatened, and thankfully I've never thrown, and I never will. I don't want to fucking throw hands over some goddamn list.
They do it at every list, though. I mean, it's not just that. It could be, you just said sports. I mean, I went to school with Kobe. I literally grew up with Kobe. He was in Lower Merion. I went to Lower Merion. I went to the same high school. And and to be completely honest with you, when I was younger, I didn't even know who Kobe was. When I walked into freshman year, I was like, oh, okay, that's Kobe. But I didn't know. Of course, we all knew Michael Jordan and everything like that. So, so that was that. I'm from Philadelphia. So, the best, I feel the best fan base in the country that will definitely throw a battery at you if needed. I mean, we'll do anything that it takes to boo our own players if they give us 1/4 of bad play. So we're obviously very opinionated on.
You guys get some lazy ass athletes though. You guys get some.
And it's crazy. This is all new school. Remember, we had Rock Harden, we had all that blue collar, hard working, hustle. That's what we're about, and the fact is this new lazy generation, this is not working for Philly. This is, you know. But yeah, but what I was saying is even they do it in the NFL, they do it with products, you know, and like you said, I think everybody has their own idea of what's best, but what's best for you? You know, do you like a stone cold killer? Do you like a beast that's been playing and broken every award ever? Do you like someone that looks you in the eye and goes, I'm not going to beat you, I'm going to destroy you? I mean, What do you like in an athlete? And I think that's what people say, oh, the GOATs, they separate those three GOATs. I mean, what do you say? Tom Brady? How do you not? I mean, is he automatic? Or do you put in all the old school guys or some of the new up and coming, but they don't have a history. They don't have rings. Like, you know what I mean? Like you could make so many arguments and I think it's just what people like their playing style. If they could be in those shoes, what they would want to be if that was the top, if they were the GOAT. That's my honest opinion. And then everyone wants to play like Sunday with quarterback, but not a day have you ever been on that court or on that field or been hit like with these monsters and torn a knee we talk about putting your life in the line for something. Athletes and real warriors is you know, yeah. So I guess it takes us out, but
absolutely.
I mean, we covered everything. You guys are going to stay on for a minute. We're going to, we got to do a couple things afterwards. And I don't know, Pete, anything else?
No, I'm going to say one, we do appreciate the times you guys made for it. We want everybody to do their favor and go check out Respect My Region when they can. Check out Mitch and Joey and what they got going on their tour. And everybody else could just do us a favor. And if you like what you heard, subscribe, follow her on iTunes, iHeart, Spotify, Amazon, Cannabis Radio, of course, and anywhere you like to wear your or listen to your podcast. So we do appreciate it. And thanks for your time, guys. Have a good one. We'll catch you next time.